Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The live streams are back. It kind of sounds like a news channel, actually, marketing related news. So I'm back with the live streams. Sorry, that was quite a long break in between. I apologize for the same. But now the live streams will be very regular and we'll be teaching a lot of things on marketing, which will connect to the marketing professionals, enthusiasts, students, whatever you are. A lot of fun streams regarding campaigns in general, and a lot of great educational things that you can learn from. So let's start with today's video, and it is about the basics of a B2B marketing plan. So a lot of us guys are working in B2B or are wanting B2B marketing related jobs. So this is something when you start off in this stream, you have to know the basics, like what are the major headings that I'm going to work under. So let me just take you through. So basically when you talk about B2B, right? So what do you mean? So what is B2B? So uh, B2B basically business to business. Whenever you are some kind of service that you are providing to a business, so it's not to an end consumer like you manufacturing chocolate or a TV, or it could even a car that can be directly to the consumers that you are marketing. Here it is to a business. So a business is using it. So in let's take the cars example. So the car manufacturer basically sells it to the end consumer who's going to buy the car. But then when he's manufacturing the same, there are various, like for example, say the engine or the seat or something like that. Those are a part of on a B2B because there's another business that is selling. So if I am making, say, the seat of a car, then my customer would be the car manufacturer, and that is a business. So that is how business to would work out. Today's day and age, where you have so much of like digital software, and also there are millions of software companies, like they're called SaaS product companies, and they are looking at doing a lot of marketing activities. So they have a team for the same. So that also would come under business to business, because for a business there is a particular software basically generally. So within this also there would be lines could be blurred, like what is for a business or a consumer, but that is a very less. Mostly it is kind of clear what you would use for what would be defined for a business or a consumer, and the that is the reason why the marketing is very distinct in that. So I hope it's clear the B2B aspect, what it is. Now we'll go to what is marketing in the same B2B marketing. B2B marketing would entail all the activities you do to market to your particular consumer, which is the business. So everything that would involve it would involve B2B marketing. And marketing is generally defined as the activities that you do would attract customers to your business. I would very simply put it like, say you have a shop. So whatever you are doing so that the people get attracted and come into your shop, any activity you do, that would be defined as B2B. I'm sorry, that would be just simply marketing. Okay, so now we'll come to the brass tacks, that what is this discussion about, what are the headings. Firstly, most important, the website. You can't be in a B2B business without having a website, obviously in a little bit larger scale, more organized business. I'm not talking about dealers and all that. So in your website has to be completely optimized in terms of your UI UX. Is there what would seem attractive, the flow of the site, the various techniques within website optimization that allow us to be in front of the consumer at a much better level. We are competing. So the flow of information has to be such that the consumer doesn't face any kind of issues when he is clicking on different elements or going to what he wants on that. So that design has within that UI UX is stream on its own. Professionals, and it's a huge domain, and within this domain there are so many things. As a marketer, it would be uh, the representation of the different elements uh, of your business within that, and landing pages for the call to actions, your marketing collaterals, the forms that are there. So everything would come under website optimization to improve the same, to in general, get leads for the particular business. Next is content marketing. You are creating content for consumption for the particular people who are interested or who are prospects for your business. So within this content today, there are so many different kinds of content in the formats. Obviously, you have product videos, you can have tutorials, you can have uh, software related, then can be walkthroughs also. You can have testimonials about your particular thing. So all these content, they have to be organized by the marketing team, so that you are constantly working on it and then you are releasing. And today, where you have so much of content being consumed by the general public, you have to have your content marketing strategy right in place. You have to have a content marketing calendar. So it's extremely important that these things are very well organized, and obviously a creative mind also comes into it. It is not simply execution based. Here it would be how you are connecting with your TG, what would they what they would find interesting. You are talking about it and releasing some kind of content in various different formats. Next, we would have email marketing. Though a lot of people said, "Oh yeah, email is gone. There is no in this day and age." With all these apps and so many consumer touch points, there is no use. But to all those people, it'll be very surprising that email marketing could constitute 60 to 70% of the marketing strategy of a small B2B company, because without much of budgets, you have the option mostly just into the email marketing, right? A good database is the emails. Still, in businesses, we all are using emails with the communication internally, externally, and also it is something which is being used within your operations with the decision makers. So with these, if you have an access to the email, you have a really good software, your strategy of messaging is good, you are highlighting certain USPs of your product, by analyzing certain pain points of your business, uh, that I'm sorry, pain points of the customers that can be targeted, whether that we are going to remove these pain points. So in within this, email marketing is very important. uh, the people, I mean, with lower budgets, it's even more important, because that will entail most of your effort within that. The largest companies are using it, whether it B2B or B2C. And in terms of the level of, um, you can say, personalization and specificity is going to increase more and more with technologies. So if you're a B2B marketer, your email marketing, kindly work really hard at it to get better at it. Right. So search engine optimization is extremely important, because in B2B sense, even more in than B2C, because B2B generally are big ticket sales, large sales that happen for contracts that can be on months on end between two businesses. So the searches that happen were very specific in B2B for the decision makers who are going to take that decision, right? So say you have some kind of a software, right, for managing the human resources within a company. So the searches, so say there is the HR head of the company, which you will have a major say in that. So he will be searching for software for managing human resources or some things. These kind of searches will happen on Google. So you should be coming up on the most common keywords for that particular business. This is uh, extremely important. Your strategy also has to be according to your mainstream strategy, what content you are creating, that how it's being represented on your site. Is it SEO optimized? Certain techniques like the meta tags that are used, and alt text, your backend, the site maps, and all that. So there are various techniques within search engine optimization. So this would come under this particular heading. So all your activities you have to organize accordingly. Next important is social media marketing, how you are represented on social media. If not, like, I mean, in B2C, it's more getting out there with social media and trying to get discovered. In B2B, I would say it's more about the people when they are reviewing you, right? Like they are look at your, say, your LinkedIn page or your Facebook or Instagram or any other social media, channel that you have. They will kind of review what is being done, like what is this company all about. Like, so not only the people, the company is also getting checked out on social media. So you should have this thing really properly set out, that how am I being represented on social media, right? That has to be extremely well done. Only then will you get inquiries, because all these things are seen, if I would say, the seriousness of which it is 10 times more than in B2C case. B2C case is still casual. Generally, B2C, I would say, like, you would look at, in general, like a FMCG or say services related industry, say in hospitality or something. So it's a very, like, there it's very small one time sale that happens with a brand that you have built. But here the sale is a large sale, and the seriousness is utmost, because even the person, like, I give that example of that human resources software. The human resource head is responsible of how that software. So imagine the seriousness of how they will look at everything from the software to the company providing that service. So again, how you are presented is extremely important than being out there and all, which is obviously also happening in B2B. But I would say the way it is should be done, it has to be in a very, I would say, professional way. Because even though B2C brands are quite casual on social media, that casualness maybe cannot be afforded on in a B2B scenario. Awesome. Then you have performance marketing, what it is referred to when there is a fixed budget and an output is required. So in a B2B's case would be the amount of leads. So say I'm doing a Google Ads campaign. So Google Ads may have to, I'll have a budget for the same, say, like I have a lakh of rupees a month. So out of that, say I have to get leads, right? So I have to define like how much a lead cost, CPL, that is called, for me, and out of that, how much am I expected? So I've spent 1 lakhs, and how many leads, right? Um, in a sale, it would be quite straightforward. Say out of that 1 lakh, I would want 10 lakhs of sale. So here in it would be the leads. So because then you go into more advanced calculation that how many leads does it take for you to close a particular sale. It takes 10 leads. So we get into the maths of it. But cut the long story short and to simplify it is that uh, like in a Google Ads campaign, you're looking at the budget, like, and the cost, how many leads you need. So you have to define it and accordingly it move. But there is certain result, a direct result is required, right? There is no kind of a branding or any other sales activity. I'm sorry, any other kind of marketing activity would come. Is very focused that I want this result. So this is the expected performance. So this is also there are a lot of aggregator sites also in your particular business, right, where their buyers and sellers are coming on up, and there these sites now have advanced to advertising on them, or you have an account on them, uh, where it's like they are kind of highlighting you or something. Everything is now paid in all these sites. Even those would come under performance marketing. So not only Google Ads, but all the other things also that these say aggregator sites are there that would come under performance marketing. Video marketing, uh, you have to have your own channels and put out video in that. This would then correlate to the content marketing. It would be more related. Why I've made this as a separate point is because um, when you are executing on content marketing, you can still get kind of in that flow that okay, I'm creating some infographic or I'm creating some kind of some nice pictures I've taken of the process or the of the office or whatever that you are doing, of the importance decision makers and all. But here video is very specific because for everything now that can be converted into a video. Earlier what you would just think would be done in a photograph, today can be like, for example, in testimonials, like when we see, so they can just see like say on the site when you have the client giving a testimonial and a photograph, and in below it's written in quotation marks like what all obviously good things he said about your business. But now if you are on the same website, you have a video playing of that particular person, so it generates more credibility, so that impact is more. So you have to have a proper video strategy in every form for your particular business. So that's why this has to be a separate point, because you have to, it should be segregated. How many videos am I creating in a month, under what categories, what am I? So this all will be done when you have it in a specific heading. And the more you use your creative mind, what would appeal to your TG, the better you get at video marketing. And lastly, we have event marketing. So this is something obviously it's not new. You are part of various events and all, industry related, expos or something like that. But with the online digital video now, being part of one-off events or one event in say a quarter or something, that would not be actually true now. Now you have to like there are companies uh, who are having events every week, right? An event can be as simple as that you have two people in your company uh, and you're talking about something like, say, two people in the sales department, and they are talking about how they carry out their day, and they are discussing about their industry or something. So it can be as simple as that. It is an internal thing. So events like this, like it can be like an online event which is sent out to in the emailing list or the people who are subscribed to their channels or anything. But you have to create those events which are educational and informative for your TG to kind of then make your brand. So this is more of a brand building activity, not giving like an immediate thing out of it. There are a lot of companies who kind of you utilize an event like a webinar, and then they try to sell, which I feel doesn't work that great, because the people who are joining, who are more interested in that than that direct services, more should be looked at in brand building only. Because if you hear, then you try to sell the puts of people, but this is an important heading as such. So that's great. So these were the, I would say, the video, I'm sorry, the marketing B2B plan that you should have in front of you and execute within it. So if I go through it again, it will be website optimization, content marketing, email marketing, search engine optimization, social media marketing, performance marketing, video marketing, and event marketing. So this was just the basics. This is a very basic video, that this is what you should kind of categorize it, and then you define activities under these headings, right? And how are you going to kind of execute these activities? So uh, I would say this would give you a great starting point. I would be going in another video where we are getting more into details of it, plus uh, about the different aspects within the marketing, B2B marketing strategy. Then you can kind of get deeper and then more specific to what you need. So this is at a very basic level, like when you are just starting off, and just to organize yourself, that okay, these are the headings and these are the, like, bare minimum, this is what on an activity level I'm going to do. Like if I'm just starting off, I've just taken a project of this where I'm marketing a particular B2B company. So this is right there. Like these are the headings. What is being, if I have to review what is done previously, what have been done under these headings, right? So that, and then I have to carry that along and then kind of try to improve that. So this will kind of give you a good idea of the same. B2B, basically marketing is, I would say, the highest employer. People would think like, the B2C marketing is in the mainstream, the campaigns and all, and you see so many, awards also being nowadays digital awards and all people are giving out for, mostly in the B2C domain. But the highest, you can say, employer people going to have a chance of getting a job mostly in B2B, because if you break it up, like B2B, there's so many businesses which you are like selling to a different business. That is more than you're selling directly to consumer, because at the end of the day, the B2C is a, as a business, to get into that, it is kind of capital heavy. Like when you would mostly notice, like even a new entrepreneur, when he gets into a business or his first business, is generally is going to be B2B. You would then argue a little bit that okay, now is the day and age of D2C, like you're directly reaching, but that is extremely capital intensive. You have anything and you're selling it directly to the consumer, that is so extremely difficult. Like in a B2C case also, you have to like say you have a product you are selling, right? Like you are manufacturing some chips or something, but to then get it to the shops, and then to get it is extremely difficult, right? And extremely capital heavy to do that. So in a B2B scenario, there with a few, like say B2B, like yeah, say you are a freelancer, right? You are say a graphic designer, and you are doing, so you are in a B2B as a freelancer, you are into B2B. So this is a very actually important point. Like as a freelancer and a solopreneur, you should know these techniques to market yourself or your business, right? Because most of us are into this. We are selling, like if you are designing, writing, or creating for anything, it is generally it you are doing that to a business, right? So the business is going to take up your services, right? Then they uh, market their services to the end consumer. So awesome. I think so. We'll wrap up. It's been a great session. Thanks a lot for joining me. Please subscribe to the Marketing Intelligence YouTube channel. A lot of interesting content in this coming up like this. If you want to be a part of the live streams, we'll be having a discussion like this. You can talk about your expertise also. So please reach out to me via LinkedIn, and it would be great. We can definitely collaborate together. I believe in connecting with people and collaborating. Uh, Today, sometimes we would feel, like there is an environment that, like it's only if there is a certain money or a business deal happening that you directly, interact with people, or you're selling something. I feel no, I feel you should develop. That's what business networking is about. Like you develop connections with people. There's some kind of a give and take happening before that, right? Some kind of exchanges happening, and that leads to um, somebody having a goodwill for you and then connecting you, giving you a reference, or when he requires that service that you are providing, then taking it, right? So there is no shortcuts in that. If those who just believe in getting a result directly believe in shortcuts, and that will never work for you in the long term. And that's why I feel like when you are collaborating, like even for say as a content creator, that is what is going to carry you through in the long term. Awesome. So great. Thanks a lot. Thanks for your time. I'll see you, and take care. Awesome. See you.